She stole her best friend's baby and raised the child as her own for 7 long years. But when the truth came out, it didn't just break hearts, it destroyed lives. Why would a woman betray the one person who trusted her the most? Was it jealousy? Was it revenge? Or was there something even darker hiding beneath the surface? Get ready, because this isn't just a story. It's a storm of secrets, lies, love, heartbreak, a mystery, and a revelation that will leave your jaw on the floor, in a shocking truth that will leave you speechless. Welcome back, family, to the African Folktales by Bat. And if you're new here, we're so glad you found us. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, grab a drink, get cozy, because what you're about to hear will shake your soul. Let's dive in, but be warned, this story will stay with you long after the final word. In the village of Nwele, a small settlement nestled between 2 rolling hills and thick forests, lived 2 women whose friendship was the envy of all. Adora and Nana had been like twin rivers, flowing side by side since childhood. They were born just a week apart, raised in neighboring compounds, and had shared everything from mango slices to secrets under the moonlight. They were each other's shadows, their bond woven tighter than a weaver's cloth. Adora, with her soft eyes and calm spirit, was the more reserved of the 2. She was known for her gentle nature and wisdom beyond her years. Nana, bold and fiery, danced like the wind and spoke like the thunder, never one to keep silent. Their bond remained unshaken even through adolescence, when village girls often became rivals over attention. Not Adora and Nana. They protected each other, shielded each other from harm, and promised to raise their children as siblings. It was said that the gods smiled on friendships like theirs. The villagers often declared, "Where Adora is, Nana cannot be far." Their families too had come to see them as more than friends, almost sisters. But fate, that mischievous trickster, delights in testing even the strongest bonds. When both women married, they remained in Nwele, building huts side by side, ensuring their lives would continue to intertwine. Adora married Uche, a humble palm wine tapper with laughter in his heart. Nana, however, wed Kalu, a boastful hunter who brought home lion skins and tails taller than palm trees. While Adora's compound echoed with warmth and humility, Nana's pulsed with ambition and longing. She longed for greatness, for admiration, for things beyond the hills of Nwele. The first twist in their tale came 3 years into their marriages. Adora conceived, her belly swelling with hope. Nana, though secretly thrilled for her friend, returned home each night and cried into her wrapper. It wasn't just jealousy, it was fear. Fear that her womb had betrayed her, that she would never feel the flutter of life inside her, that her name would never echo with the title of mother. Village whispers grew louder with each moon. Nana has no child. Some said she was cursed. Others blamed Kalu's wandering eye. But Nana kept smiling in public, masking the storm that brewed within. Adora, unaware of the depths of her friend's pain, named her son Shameli, God knows the reason. She invited Nana to bathe the child during the naming ceremony, placing the baby in her arms as a sign of trust. As Nana held the baby, something shifted. A strange emptiness inside her was filled, even if momentarily. She rocked him, whispering lullabies her own mother once sang to her. Something unspoken passed through her soul. That night, Nana stared at the stars and spoke to the gods. Why give her what I long for? Am I not worthy? Am I not enough? She wept until the morning birds chirped. Months passed and Adora's home was filled with baby laughter. Nana visited often, helping with chores, offering herbs, and carrying Shameli on her back like a doting aunt. But her smiles began to strain, her eyes heavier with unspoken grief. One rainy afternoon, Nana visited while Adora was alone. The baby had just fallen asleep. As Adora stepped out to fetch water, Nana lingered near the child. The lightning cracked, and a terrible thought struck her. If this child were mine, she whispered, my sorrows would end. My husband would stay. The mockery would stop. My mother-in-law would stop calling me a man in a woman's body. Days later, news spread Adora's baby had vanished. One moment, he was asleep in the hut. The next, gone. The village erupted into panic. Drums were beaten to alert nearby communities. A search began. Adora was inconsolable, her voice cracked with grief. Her husband Uche wandered the forests, tearing through shrubs and screaming their child's name. Shameli, Shameli! But only silence replied. Nana was among the first to join the search party. She wailed the loudest, clutched Adora the tightest. No one suspected her, not the soft-voiced auntie who was always present. But beneath her wrapper, guilt festered. Weeks rolled into months. The village was restless. The forest was combed again and again, but no trace of Shameli was found. Adora's health declined. Sleepless nights and tears hollowed her cheeks. Uche grew distant, his once bright eyes dimmed with hopelessness. Only Nana seemed to hold steady, but inside her torment grew heavier. Unknown to all, Nana had taken Shameli to a hidden grove deep in the woods, a place whispered about but rarely visited. The trees were ancient, their roots like gnarled fingers, clutching the earth. Here Nana laid the child on a bed of soft leaves, whispering promises she could not keep. "I am sorry, little one," she said. "I will care for you, I will love you, but this is not forever." She left the grove, heart shattering with every step back to the village. Nana knew she could not raise Shameli openly. Her husband's anger at her barrenness was violent. Her mother-in-law's curses worse. To admit stealing the child would mean exile or worse. So she hid the truth deep in her soul and in the forest shadows. Days later, a stranger arrived at the village, a hunter named Ikechukwu, who carried a bow and a secret past. He was drawn to the forest's silence and the sorrow hanging over the village. Hearing of the missing child, he vowed to help. Ikechukwu followed faint trails, broken twigs, flattened grass, soft footprints. The scent of a child lingered like a whisper on the wind. He moved silently, guided by something greater than his skill, a force calling him forward. In the grove, Shameli slept peacefully. Nana came daily, bringing food and water, singing songs of hope and healing. The child's dark eyes mirrored hers, filled with curiosity and trust. She cradled him, her heart torn between love and shame. Back in the village, Adora's mother, Mama Ifeoma, visited Nana, suspicion flickering in her eyes. "Where were you the day Shameli disappeared?" she asked sharply. Nana smiled faintly, with Adora trying to soothe her heart. But Mama Ifeoma was not convinced. She whispered to the elders, and a quiet investigation began. The village was divided between disbelief and doubt. How could Nana betray her closest friend? One night, under a crescent moon, Nana's secret was exposed. A young boy from the village, chasing a stray goat, stumbled upon the grove. He saw Shameli and ran screaming to the village. The news spread like wildfire. Adora and Uche raced to the grove, their steps frantic. When they saw the child, their sobs mingled with relief and fury. Adora fell to her knees, clutching Shameli, while Uche glared at Nana, disbelief burning in his eyes. Nana stood silent, her shoulders shaking. "I was desperate," she confessed. "My womb was empty, my heart aching. I thought, if I could just hold him, I could live again." The village council gathered the next day. Nana faced harsh judgment. Some called for exile, others for forgiveness. The elders pondered, seeking guidance from the ancestors and the spirits. Mama Ifeoma spoke, "This betrayal is deep, but so is the pain that caused it. We must heal, not only punish." Her words swayed many, reminding the village that justice must be tempered with mercy. Adora, torn between betrayal and compassion, said, "Nana stole my child, yes, but she did so out of despair. I cannot hate the woman I once called sister." Uche, though angry, nodded slowly. "Our family is broken, but not beyond repair." The village agreed on a path of restoration, a trial of truth and love. Nana was to live outside the village for 3 years, serving those in need, while Adora would raise Shameli as her own. The bond between the two women would be tested, but never severed. During her exile, Nana traveled to distant villages, helping women in pain and hardship. She learned herbal medicine, midwifery, and the art of healing broken spirits. The villagers called her the Redeemed. In Otanwe, Adora raised Shameli with fierce love. She told him stories of courage and forgiveness, teaching him that family is woven from more than blood. Shameli grew strong and wise. His laughter brought joy back to Adora's compound. Yet deep inside, a part of him longed for the aunt who once held him in the forest's hush. Meanwhile, Nana's heart ached with every sunset. She prayed for the day she could return, not as a thief, but as a sister healed by grace. The village changed during Nana's exile. New leaders emerged. Old wounds slowly healed. But the story of the stolen baby remained a cautionary tale, passed down by griots under moonlit skies. 3 years later, Nana returned to the village. The elders welcomed her cautiously. Adora embraced her, tears of reconciliation streaming down both their faces. Shameli, now a young boy of 8, stared at Nana with wide eyes. "Are you the one who saved me in the forest?" he asked. Nana nodded, kneeling. "I am, and I will always love you, no matter what." The village celebrated her return with music and dance. The baobab trees swayed as if blessing the reunion. Peace settled like soft rain over Otanwe. Shameli grew into a fine young man, wise beyond his years. He learned the arts of storytelling, healing, and leadership from both Adora and Nana. One day, as they sat under the baobab tree, Shameli asked, "Why did you take me, Nana?" Nana smiled gently. "Because I was lost and afraid, but the love I have for you is real. Not all choices are right, but all love is true." Adora nodded. "And sometimes the hardest pain brings the deepest wisdom." The village healed fully, embracing the complexity of love, betrayal, and forgiveness. Their story became legend, reminding all that even broken bonds can be mended with truth and grace. Shameli, now a young man, began to travel, sharing his story across villages, teaching that love is stronger than sorrow, and forgiveness is the path to peace. Nana and Adora remained sisters, not just by history, but by choice. Their bond, tested by fire, became unbreakable. Elder Mama Ifeoma said in her final days, "This story will guide generations. It shows us the power of mercy and the strength found in healing." In time, Shameli became a healer and storyteller, known far and wide as the child of two mothers, a symbol of hope and redemption. The village erected a monument near the baobab, a tree entwined with two trunks, symbolizing the two mothers and the child they shared. Travelers came from distant lands to hear the tale. Griots sang it, weaving lessons of compassion and resilience into the fabric of African folklore. Nana opened a clinic to help barren women and mothers in despair, dedicating her life to preventing pain like hers. Adora led the village council, ensuring justice balanced with mercy, inspired by the story they lived. The children of Otanwe grew up knowing the tale. Not as gossip, but as a sacred story of redemption. Shameli married a woman named Ebele, whose kindness healed wounds unseen. Together they raised children with stories of forgiveness. On their wedding day, both Nana and Adora danced together, their smiles brighter than the midday sun. The village celebrated peace as the greatest treasure. The story of the stolen baby became a song of hope. One day, Shameli stood before a crowd and said, "The heart is a garden. It can wither, but it can also bloom again." He spoke of love's power to transform even the deepest pain into light. The village elders nodded, remembering their own journeys from darkness to dawn. In every corner of Otanwe, the story was told with reverence, reminding all that even when we fall, we can rise. Nana's story was no longer one of shame, but of courage and redemption. Adora's forgiveness became a beacon, guiding others through their own storms. The stolen baby grew into a man who healed hearts, not just bodies. He became a griot, carrying the weight and wisdom of his story to every village, city, and town. The baobab tree near the village square became a symbol of unity and resilience. Travelers left offerings there, pennies, beads, and prayers for love to conquer hate. The tale was recited at weddings, funerals, and festivals, a reminder of the power of forgiveness. In the quiet moments, elders whispered to children, "Remember Nana and Adora. Remember Shameli. Remember love." Years later, when Nana's hands grew weak and her voice soft, she smiled knowing she had made Adora live to see her family flourish, her heart healed by grace. Shameli's children carried the legacy forward, teaching kindness and mercy. The village thrived, rooted in the lessons of the stolen baby. Neighbors from faraway lands came seeking the story, eager to learn its lessons. Nana's name was spoken with respect, a reminder that no soul is beyond redemption. Adora's kindness was sung in praise songs at harvest. The baobab's shade sheltered storytellers who kept the tale alive. Shameli's journey taught that love's reach is boundless. In time, the story became part of the wider tapestry of African folktales. It taught that even betrayal can lead to healing, that the deepest wounds may birth the strongest bonds, that forgiveness is a seed from which peace grows, that family is chosen as much as it is born, that love, even stolen, can be restored. The tale of the stolen baby was told for generations. Children learned it alongside songs of rain and sun. Parents told it at night, hoping to inspire kindness. Elders whispered it with pride, thankful for mercy's grace. And so the story became more than a tale. It became a living testament to the human heart, to the power of forgiveness, to the strength in healing, to the beauty of restored bonds. And at the heart of it all was the stolen baby, who taught a village to love beyond pain, to hope beyond despair, and to live beyond fear. Moral lessons of this story. 1. Desperation can lead to wrong choices, but redemption is always possible. Even in the darkest moments of despair, people can make mistakes. However, acknowledging those mistakes and seeking to make amends is the path to healing and redemption. 2. Forgiveness is a powerful force that heals wounds. Forgiving those who hurt us is difficult but essential. Forgiveness restores broken relationships and brings peace to both the forgiver and the forgiven. 3. Love is complex but ultimately stronger than betrayal. Love can endure hardship, betrayal, and pain. True love is not only about blood relations, but also about compassion, understanding, and sacrifice. 4th, mercy and compassion should guide justice. Justice tempered with mercy leads to restoration and community healing, rather than only punishment and division. 5. Family is more than biology. Family bonds can be chosen and nurtured. Relationships built on love, care, and forgiveness transcend biological ties. 6. Healing takes time and effort. Rebuilding trust in relationships after betrayal requires patience, courage, and sustained effort. 7. Pain can be a teacher. Difficult experiences, even traumatic ones, can teach valuable lessons about empathy, resilience, and humility. 8. Helping others is a path to personal healing. Nana's journey shows that dedicating oneself to serving others in pain can bring redemption and inner peace. 9. Truth and transparency are foundations for reconciliation. Facing the truth, no matter how painful, is necessary for restoring broken bonds and moving forward. 10. Hope can survive, even in the most challenging circumstances. The story encourages holding on to hope through trials, knowing that change and healing are possible. Whew, what a story! Dear viewers, this was more than just a tale of betrayal. It was a raw reflection of how love, desperation, and pain can twist even the strongest bonds. Imagine trusting someone with your life, only to discover they held the knife behind your back. But in the end, truth always rises, no matter how deep it's buried. We watched how one woman's silence gave birth to another secret, how envy and sorrow blinded judgment, and how a stolen child carried the weight of two shattered hearts. But here's the lesson, my beloved viewers. Never let pain turn you into someone you're not. And more importantly, never build your joy on someone else's tears. If this story touched your heart, made you reflect, or even made you shed a tear, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heart-wrenching and eye-opening tales like this one. And now I ask you, what would you have done if your best friend stole your child and raised them as her own? Let us know in the comments, because your voice matters here. Until next time, remember, the heart sees more than the eyes and karma never forgets. Thank you for watching. See you on my next video.